Have you ever wondered why some preppers don't ever do prepping on the cheap? Well, this is something that we get requests all the time in our emails. Billy, can you do videos prepping on the cheap? Choosing cheaper things that you can find, to help us prepare because we really don't have a lot of income or, extra money just to put into prepping. The problem that I have with prepping on the cheap is that it's cheap. And in Florida, I was able to do that because in Florida, my life really did not depend on my gear. In Florida, this was my knife. It was an old timer. It was perfectly fine. If it chipped, it was fine. I can go get another one, and that's it. I was close enough to civilization that I can get help in an instant. In fact, I barely ever lost phone reception in Florida. I used to use. I give you the other day an example of the spoon. Spoon like this was fine. The ones that came in the MREs was fine. I had these long ones, but I really didn't use it as much because I was like, whatever. I really don't care. I use Mountain House because I didn't know what peak refuel was. I use mainly cheaper stove and whatnot. I did had that one specifically. That's a Snow Peak. I did had that one, but I was like, I got it as a novelty, to tell you the truth. But I used the cheapest one. Why? Because my life really did not depend on it. Now, when I moved to Alaska, I came to the harsh realization of, holy crap, now my life depends on the gear that I have. So, I don't longer use this type of spoons. I don't longer use this one. I stick with the long one. This is just to give you an example. I don't longer use the cheap stove. I use the most expensive one, the Peak Refuel. In fact, this one has been with me for a good 15 years. Now that I think about it, I use whatever best I can afford, to tell you the truth. Whatever best I can afford. Because now my life depends on the gear that I have with me. You see what I'm saying? So I will not do any favors to you or to me to share with y'all things that you can get and use for cheap. Because now I'm in a different spot right now. My life has changed to the point that my life really does depend on gear, and I really have to spend the money in quality gear. I do absolutely nothing of bringing my old timer to the wilderness, and if the chips or breaks, then I'm in trouble now because I now don't have a edge tool. No, I now bring my top of the line buck knife, because I depend on it. So what I'm trying to say here is it all boils down to where you are in your preparedness. It all boils down to what are your necessities. Is your life, if your life depends on that gear, don't go cheap. If you're doing it to practice, and you have phone coverage everywhere that you can reach out, I think you can, get away with, cheaper gear. But if you don't, my recommendation to you, somebody who lives and breathes preparedness and wants to be out there all the time, spend your money. If you say, Billy, I don't have it, well, I'm going to ask you this. You have enough right now to get a old timer, right? Your answer probably will be like, yeah, that's what I can afford right now. Wait. And put your money aside. And you may ask, well, what if I need it right now? Well, until this moment, you didn't. Patience. If your life depends on it, and I'm just giving you an example. If your life depends on it, get the best quality gear that you can afford. The best quality gear that you can afford. Because your life is worth a lot more than those pennies that you're fixing to save, by not getting that quality that you need. You do absolutely nothing with saving $1 today and getting into trouble tomorrow because that gear failed you in the field. Now, if you plan to just have it and toss it in the corner and never use it again, then there's really no point of either getting the expensive gear or the cheap gear. There's really no point, honestly. If you are in an area, a populated area, that you can get away with cheaper stuff, like I said before, rock on. But if you are like me, who 90% of the time don't have cell phone reception, well, you may consider whether or not you want to put your faith on a inferior item instead of spending your money and coming back home alive. Just saying, y'all. Just saying. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like always, rock on, prep on, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.